Have you noticed that I don't care anymore?
I actually have noticed that, and it's pissing me off. Why doesn't she care anymore?
That's why you're trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah, you don't care at all anymore. I used to hide my phone. Now she comes over and it's just girls' asses clapping on Instagram, and she's like, "Girl power, love it." She just doesn't care. So, are you having an affair? That's the question.
No, I don't want to be bothered.
You're at that.
Well, I came across this video and it's been in my mind for quite some time now, and I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. I mean, we are talking about relationships, emotional detachment, and what it means when a woman learns to emotionally detach herself from her man. So it's no good sign. I mean, but let's just get into it. Let's continue the conversation. Let's continue listening to this conversation. Then I'll jump in and give my own opinion and my own thoughts on these.
That point of the relationship where you just don't even care.
She just gave him such a big clue, and it just went over his head. So clearly he used to do a lot of things that would bother her, and she got to the point to where it had hurt her so many times to where she just had to emotionally detach herself from the situation because she doesn't want to feel bothered about it anymore. And obviously he wasn't stopping whatever he was doing. This is what people do when they have to self-preserve and protect themselves. It's either leave or stop caring. And a lot of the times when people stop caring, they end up leaving. And he's making jokes about it and laughing and saying, "Oh yeah, I always have girls' asses clapping on my Instagram feed. And she used to care, now she doesn't." Clueless, absolutely clueless. And then people are blindsided when the partner that has had enough leaves. Well, I didn't see it coming. Well, that shocked me. They'll say, "Oh, there were no signs." Those are the signs. Those are big, huge billboard.
All right, this is just one of the reactions. There are many that will go throughout the night. But no, when a woman is in a relationship, right, especially a long-term one, she usually invests a lot of emotion into it, and she really cares. I mean, she loves and she wants to make it work. But there comes a point in some relationships where she realizes that her efforts aren't being reciprocated or appreciated, and that's when things really starts to shift. And she'll definitely show it, like the lady in this video, but it seems the man doesn't get it. But let's be real, emotional detachment doesn't happen overnight. It's some kind of a gradual process. It's those little moments where she feels ignored, unappreciated, or even taken for granted. She might try to communicate to fix things, to get her partner to understand what she's going through. But when those efforts go unnoticed or are dismissed, something inside her starts to change. And you can see clearly the man doesn't really get it when she's saying that technically she is not there anymore, which means she must have been communicating a lot of those things and the man haven't clearly seen it. And sometimes things really get interesting, and when the woman really reaches that point where she can emotionally detach herself from her man, it's often the beginning of the end. My personal opinion. You may ask why. I think because emotional detachment is a form of self-protection, I'll say, and she's no longer invested in the relationship the way she used to be. So she's no longer reacting to his actions or words because she simply doesn't care anymore. It's heartbreaking, but that's just what it is. Life is tough. Get a helmet, just like Candace Owens says.
Are big.
So let's listen to this next lady. What's her thought about all this?
Huge billboard.
Did y'all see that video where the guy's asking his wife, is there a possibility that she would let him go to Colombia, Costa Rica, or Dominican Republic with his friends? And she's like, just go. I could care less. Now, mind you, those places are known for prostitution. 304. And she's like, just go. Haven't you noticed I don't care about what you do anymore? My good sir, you are single. She has left you up here. The minute a woman stops caring about how you breathe, how you walk, how you talk, your actions, the actions that she's probably been nagging at you to change for the longest, when she just don't have nothing to say no more, she is gone. The only reason she's still there is she's working it out logistically at this point on how she can walk away from you, especially if y'all got kids. It's a wrap. When she stops doing this and doing this, you better go get the good pen because you about to sign them papers. That's all I know.
I think really it's surprising that most men don't know these, but don't be shocked. They usually say 90% of humans are followers, right? And things like this, if you're not exposed to, you never know. These are some clues as to when to know the signs or the time is near. So, some might say, well, can't she just be playing hard to get? Or maybe she's just trying to teach him a lesson. But no, trust me, there's a difference. When a woman truly detaches, it's not a game. It's a way of protecting herself from further hurt or disappointment. Not necessarily hurt in this case, but emotional hurt or physical, I was trying to say. And here's the truth, once that emotional detachment sets in, it's incredibly hard to reverse, because by the time a woman has reached that point, she's likely or already checked out of the relationship mentally and emotionally, and she might still be physically present going through the emotions, but her heart is no longer in it. Just like this lady right here says, just get ready for them divorce papers. That's why it's important to address issues in a relationship as they arise. So if you are in a relationship and you notice that your partner is starting to pull away, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss her feelings or assume she'll just get over it. Take time to really listen to understand where she's coming from and to make the necessary changes before it's too late, because once she's emotionally detached, it's usually over. That's I've had many experiences of friends or neighbors. I mean, society, you see many of these things happening every day, but it seems we don't just learn from them. So I'll say emotional detachment at that point, there is not much left to really say, just move on. And I was listening to this lady spewing some of these things too, so let's take a listen.
A lot of people don't understand why men cheat. And that's why they say things like, oh, it's just because men are visual. They want variety. Let that man cheat in peace. Oh, as long as he comes home to you. Men are cheating because they want to steal your peace. There's no such thing as letting him cheat in peace. He's flaunting what he's doing, trying to get a reaction out of her. Because her reaction is the point, not the other women. And that's why a lot of men start with the micro cheating, the messaging of old girlfriends, looking at porn, liking half-naked pictures of girls on Instagram, doing things he knows is disrespectful. It's all about testing you, pushing your buttons. He's the one bringing up his bad behavior. It's clear he's not trying to get away with it. Cheating is a form of abuse. It's no different than verbal abuse, because what he's doing is he's triangulating you with another woman. He's setting you up to think that you are less than, so you'll be obsessing over his approval. And that's why men will so often criticize you on a certain characteristic. You're too tall, and he'll go out and cheat with a girl who's 6 feet. You were just 5'7". You're too big. Oh my God, you've gained weight. I'm losing attraction to you. Yeah, you're still in the single sizes. He's cheating with a plus size queen. You're too something, and he goes out and cheats with a woman who's got way more of it than you. Or he'll get that mental triangulation going. He's constantly comparing you to an ex, but simultaneously that ex couldn't do anything right. According to him, she spent all his money, she drove too fast, she cheated on him and kicked his puppy. Yet at the same time, he's always constantly comparing you. Well, so-and-so did things like this. Well, she didn't let the house be like this, and her figure was like this, and yours is like that. The reason her identity, according to him, is always shifting is because what he wants is always shifting. What he's telling you about other women is in accordance to what he needs at that moment. If he's on a complimentary tear, if he's talking about how her body was all that and she made him feel like this, that, and the third, she was wild or she was hotter, he's trying to get something out of you. He's trying to force you to perform in the way she supposedly used to. In reality, she probably didn't even do that stuff. And it's just the inverse if he's telling you something negative about a woman. 9 times out of 10, that thing never happened. She never cheated on him. She never spent his money. She never kicked his puppy. But he's telling you she did those things so you won't ask him to spend any money on you. So you'll feel compelled to stay in the house. And if he's telling you that she cheated, it's probably to get your mind off the fact he's probably cheating on you. He gets your mind all mixed up and tells you, oh, I have trust issues because my last partner cheated on me. You instantly become paranoid about not seeming trustworthy. So you want to go above and beyond to show him, hey, you trust him. You know, there's trust issues in this relationship, and you're letting him get away with murder because he's planted it in your head. If you show suspicions, that means there's no trust in the relationship. Hey, you're acting shady. Maybe you're cheating just like she was. Men would use their power for good. You know, they're far from dumb. It's just that they dedicate most of their brain power to manipulating women. But it's because, as I told you the other day, women are the shortcut. Unsafe, because by making you feel unsafe, they feel safe and secure. It is a sickness. Watch out for men like that. Like and follow for more.
Well, the lady right here just turned everything on the head. Like, oh, it's now on the man, right? The man is cheating on you and stuff like that. But it works both ways. The women too, they talk about their exes and they do those things and blah blah blah, of course. Yeah, let's listen to our brother here talking about she's already checked out.
This man done sat up here on this podcast and asked his woman, do you care if I take a solo trip to Costa Rica or to the Dominican Republic? And she looked him dead in his eye and was like, I don't care. I don't care what you do. And this man stopped at that moment and looked at everybody else like they were the problem and was like, that makes me mad. That makes me upset at the fact that she does not care. She got to be cheating. So to take a step further, he was like, are you cheating? Because like, you don't care about nothing. You don't care if I'm online, on social media, watching other women twerk. You don't care if I'm messaging other women. You don't care if I meet up with other women. You don't care if I talk to other women. Like, you don't care about nothing that I do outside this relationship. Therefore, the only type of woman who would not care to this extent is a woman who's cheating. So are you cheating? And she turned around and looked at him and was like, no, I just don't care. I'm at peace. When I tell y'all she ate with that line, I'm at peace, because she recognizes that she's in a relationship with a man who just simply won't change. And if she continues to give her energy time and time again to the bullshit that he's doing, eventually she's going to hold resentment. She's going to be upset. She's going to be crying. She's going to have all these feelings and emotions behind what he's doing, knowing that he won't change. But instead of doing that, she's just accepting the fact that this is who he is and learning how to live with it and being at peace with it. And this man cannot take that because he cannot accept the fact that she's okay with him doing all the things and not caring, and she's not out there doing the same thing or reciprocating the energy towards him in the relationship. And instead of his question being, hey, are you cheating on me? It should be more so, what am I doing or not doing for her to feel that way? That was a moment for his brain to go, maybe it's time for me to self-reflect. Maybe it's time for me to look inward. That way I have a better understanding as to why this woman has checked out this relationship. Because if she's at peace and she's not cheating, then how is it possible for her to stay with me knowing what kind of man that I am? Because realistically speaking, how can you as a man get mad at a woman for checking out when you're the reason and the cause of her checking out? It's almost like your anger should be redirected at yourself, but I could be wrong.
Thank you, Ryan. So what can we take away from this? Relationships really require efforts and also communication. That's a must. And mutual respect. So if you find that your partner is starting to detach, don't wait until it's too late to do something about it. Emotional detachment is often the last step before the end. And once it's there, well, it's incredibly difficult to reverse. So remember, a healthy relationship is one where both partners feel valued, heard, and loved. So don't take your partner's emotional investment for granted in the first place, because once it's gone, you might realize that what you had is something you can never get back. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Black Coffee Podcast. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on relationships, self-growth, and everything in between. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other, and make sure that you open your eyes. And I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this guy asking his lady if he can go out in the Dominican and see ladies twerk